Hey everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. And today we're getting into some pretty murky waters.
Murky waters indeed.
Yeah, we're talking celebrity gossip, but also some serious accusations.
Yeah.
You've probably all heard about the legal trouble surrounding P. Diddy, um, Sean Combs,
Right.
and there's a lot of speculation about whether Jay-Z and Beyonce are going to get caught up
Oh,
on it.
yeah. Their names are swirling around for sure.
So that's what we're going to try to unpack today.
Absolutely. Try to get to the bottom of it.
So the thing is, we're looking at sources like In Touch and Radar.
Right. Tabloids.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the celebrity weeklies.
Yeah, and I mean they're known for having insider access.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, so we'll have to be extra careful, separating fact from fiction here.
Oh, for sure.
Lots of juicy details, but who knows what's true?
Right.
It's like we're playing a game of Celebrity Clue.
I like that.
Yeah, trying to figure out what actually happened.
Yeah.
So just to recap for anybody who needs it, P. Diddy is in federal custody right now waiting for his trial.
Yes.
He's facing some pretty serious accusations,
Very serious.
which he denies.
Of course.
But his lawyer, Tony Busby, he's been kind of hinting that there could be a lot more big names involved.
Oh, yeah. He's been name dropping.
Yeah.
Hasn't he?
Yeah.
And one of the accusers, Jaguar Wright, she's been very vocal.
Right.
Which definitely, that adds fuel to the fire.
For sure.
So now Jay-Z and Beyonce, now they haven't been directly linked to any of this wrongdoing,
Right.
but their names keep coming up in connection with Diddy.
Yeah, it's like they're caught in this web of association.
Exactly, guilt by association.
And, even just the appearance of being involved can be really damaging.
Oh, absolutely.
And Jay-Z, he's not taking this lying down.
No, he's not.
He's already filed a lawsuit against Piers Morgan
Interesting.
for giving a platform to some of these accusers.
Yeah, he's not messing around.
So that's a pretty clear message, right, that he's ready to fight back.
Yeah.
But it's really fascinating to see how In Touch and Radar are spinning this whole thing.
Okay, so.
Well, In Touch, they paint this picture of Jay-Z totally fueled by anger,
Okay.
ready to go on the offensive to protect their reputations.
Makes sense.
Classic power couple move, right?
Yeah, you don't mess with them.
But then Radar throws a curveball.
Uh-oh.
They claim that the marriage is strained
Oh.
and that Beyonce is terrified that this is going to tarnish her good girl image.
Right.
They even suggest that she might separate from Jay-Z to protect her brand.
Wow.
Really makes you wonder, does separating yourself from someone actually protect your image?
Yeah. Is that really how that works?
Or does it just play into that old narrative of women taking the fall for their husband's actions?
Right. It's a good question.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting question about how much control someone like Beyonce actually has in this situation.
Right, because it's not like she can just disappear.
Exactly.
Is Beyonce.
And what's interesting, too, is that both sources are relying on statements from reps,
Okay.
not direct quotes from Jay-Z and Beyonce themselves.
Interesting.
So it's that whole, silence is deafening thing.
Yeah. What are they not saying?
Exactly. And both sources also say that the couple's been lying low since Diddy's indictment.
Makes sense, I guess.
But let's be honest,
Yeah.
that just fuels the rumor mill even more.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The less you say, the more people speculate.
Exactly. When there's a void, people rush to fill it.
That's human nature.
And then you have someone like Derek Parker, the hip-hop cop,
Right, I've heard of him.
weighing in, and he thinks Jay-Z is lawyering up,
Okay.
implying that there might be more to this story than we know.
Interesting take.
His insight is interesting because he understands both sides of the coin,
Right, law enforcement and the music industry.
Exactly. And speaking of the music industry, it's important to remember that Jay-Z and Diddy's relationship goes way back.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking decades.
Decades of collaboration.
Collaboration, shared history. That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time to build trust.
It is.
But it's also a long time for secrets to potentially accumulate.
Ooh, that's a good point. And as we know, secrets in the music industry can be explosive.
For sure.
Yeah. Makes you wonder about everyone else in Diddy's circle,
Yeah, are they worried?
Are they bracing for impact? Are they going to be pulled into this?
Yeah, it's like a ripple effect.
Totally.
And then you think about the impact on the music industry as a whole.
Right.
It's built on collaboration.
Yeah.
But this whole situation shows you the potential downside of these close relationships.
Definitely when so much is at stake.
Right.
Money, fame, legacies.
Reputations built over decades.
That's a lot.
It is. And speaking of reputations, it's interesting how much emphasis there is on Beyonce's good girl image.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like her career depends on keeping this perfect persona.
It's true.
It just reminds you of the double standards for women in entertainment.
For sure.
Men can get away with so much more. Yeah, they get a lot more leeway when it comes to scandals.
But women face so much pressure.
Yeah, to be perfect.
It's like there's this unspoken rule.
Totally.
Women in the spotlight have to be perfect,
In every way.
personally and professionally.
Yeah, and any little slip up.
Forget it.
Yeah, there's judgment and consequences.
So going back to those different stories from In Touch and Radar,
Okay.
it's almost like they're playing into those expectations.
How so?
In Touch presents the classic power couple,
Yeah.
united and ready to fight back.
Yeah.
But Radar focuses on the potential cracks in the facade,
Interesting.
the strain on the marriage, and Beyoncé's fear of damaging her image.
It's a good point. It's like they're tapping into these different societal expectations.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder what's really going on behind closed doors.
Right. Are they really a united front or are they struggling?
And how do you deal with something like this when you're constantly in the public eye?
Right. Every move is scrutinized.
That's got to be exhausting.
And then you add in the legal stuff, the money problems, the emotional toll.
It's a lot.
It really is. And this is where I think we have a responsibility as consumers of this information.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the gossip,
Oh, for sure.
but we have to remember there are real people at the center of this.
It's a good reminder that behind the headlines and the Instagram posts, there are complex human stories.
Absolutely. Stories of ambition and loyalty.
Betrayal and the struggle to maintain control.
Exactly. And those stories deserve empathy and understanding, even as we try to figure out what's true.
Well said. So as we wrap up this part of the deep dive, I'm curious.
Okay.
Do you think Jay-Z and Beyonce will ultimately be dragged into this Diddy mess?
It's hard to say right now. We just don't have enough information.
Yeah.
But no matter what happens, this situation shows how unstable fame can be.
And the potential problems with close relationships.
Especially in a tough industry like the music business.
It's a reminder that even the most successful people aren't immune to these challenges.
Or to the unpredictable nature of life.
Makes you think about the company you keep, right?
Oh, it really does. You know, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
Right. And in this case, the lines between friends and family get kind of blurry.
Especially in hip-hop, it's such a tight-knit world.
And then there's the whole issue of power dynamics.
Yeah, you can't forget about that.
We're talking about some of the biggest names in music.
Huge.
So you have to wonder about the pressure to stay loyal, even when things get shady.
Absolutely. There's this code of silence, you know?
Right.
And breaking that code can have huge consequences.
For sure, you could risk your whole career.
Exactly. It takes a lot of courage to speak out, like Jaguar Wright did.
Yeah, she seems willing to face the backlash.
She's putting herself out there.
It reminds us there's always more than one side to the story.
Yeah, and sometimes the most important voices are the hardest to hear.
So where do we go from here? I mean, we've got these conflicting reports and rumors and a bunch of unanswered questions.
I know it's a lot to unpack.
What should we be looking for as this story develops?
We'll keep an eye on the legal proceedings, of course.
Right.
But also watch who else gets pulled into this.
Yeah.
And how the story changes as more information comes out.
It's like we're watching a chess game.
That's a good analogy.
Every move has an impact, and it's hard to predict the ending.
And the stakes are so high, reputations, fortunes, even freedom.
This has been quite a ride.
It has.
We started with celebrity gossip and ended up talking about power dynamics and societal expectations.
Loyalty, truth, it's a lot.
And we've tried to look at this story with a critical eye.
Right, because there's always more to the story than what you see on the surface.
And I think that that's the biggest takeaway here. Don't just believe the headlines.
Exactly.
Do your own research.
Question your assumptions, and remember that even celebrities are real people.
With real human stories.
Well said, and as always, we encourage you to keep digging into this topic on your own.
Check out the sources we mentioned.
Do your own research.
Come to your own conclusions.
Because at the end of the day, that's what the deep dive is all about. Giving you the tools to figure things out for yourself.
One deep dive at a time.
Until next time, stay curious.